Hello and welcome to the Winding Road podcast. It's still spring's in full bloom now. Got the old allergy meds on the old Winding Road. You can hear them a little bit snaffling. Yeah, I'm doing that. Oh yeah, we're doing that. It's that time. This is weird. Get used to it over the years, but whenever all that stuff first started, you know, like around feeling like you're just like floating around like a balloon head, you know, with all the pollen and allergies and stuff, and not knowing anything really about how any of that worked, you know, about 10 years ago or so. Whenever that started happening to me, man, I was freaking out a little bit because it just felt so weird. But this is interesting how, you know, you get used to things over time, and then it just become norm, and then you're like, okay, yeah, cool. I know what's happening here. So I'm just gonna ride the waves with it, you know, because it's the fear of the unknown when something's new, not knowing what the hell's going on because it's different, you know. But then if it happens to you again and again, you're starting to be like, oh, okay, this isn't hopefully as bad as I thought it was. And you get used to those feelings, but it's just interesting at first. Whenever you're experiencing something new that can be a little bit scary or whatnot. I just ride the waves, man. Whenever that's happening, just ride the waves and like, all right, well, shoot. But yeah, excuse me, God bless. Chewbacca. Chewbacca. I don't know why I didn't say that. I usually say that. Chewbacca. Get it? Star Wars. Funny. Haha. LOL. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna do it again. Excuse me. That's also funny that you take something to get rid of the sneezes and it makes you sneeze, you know? Like all these damn medicines and stuff. Like, oh, it'll cure this, but it'll give you this. Like, is it even worth it? Bless me. I failed to say Chewbacca again. Like, is it even worth it? All these damn side effects and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm on something for depression, but I'm not actually. But it's like, oh, if you're on something for depression, but it may cause suicidal thoughts. Well, what the hell? Doesn't that what depression causes sometimes? Like, what are we doing here? Oh, I gotta sneeze again. Chewbacca. Oh, excuse me. God bless. What are we doing here? Man. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say now, but I don't know. It's just interesting to me as we get older, and you know how it's so driven by things of the flesh, and now I'm just like meh. You know, or just letting things bother me. I'm not doing it. I'm not just try my absolute best to just be like, oh, whatever, you know, just not worth it. Nothing's worth worrying about. I'm just like, man, just think about how many fights we get in over stupid shit. I know I've talked about that before, but it's just like, wow. I guarantee you about 90% of them could have been avoidable, and they have no long-term impact. So it's just like, why are we fighting about this? It's so dumb. And I've just been getting a lot better about that, and just not letting things affect me. It's just not worth it, man. It's like if we're getting upset about something. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about Carl Jung. I believe he was a philosopher professor, wrote some books and shit, and he was talking about this guy in the video that was quoting him was talking about, you know, let's just take, for instance, somebody cut you off in traffic and you get mad about it. It's like, okay, yes, I always go back to the, you know, don't worry about things you can't control, but like it's something in us. This world, we always feel like something external is happening to us, but I think it kind of is, but then it kind of isn't, because in reality, it's like, it's, you know, most people just go around reacting to things, reacting to what happens to them. But really, it's a reflection of what's inside of you. If you're getting upset about something, then there's probably something else that's going on inside of you that you need to explore, that you need to figure out what's causing you to react that way. Because you can't do anything about somebody, cutting you off or not using their blinker. And if you got mad about it, what's going on inside it? And you have to explore those things to figure out, why did I react that way? How can I be better, not worry about stuff like that? But it's figuring out what's inside of you that triggers that. And yeah, I'll be honest with you, the psychedelic experience helped me figure a lot of that out inside of what was going on inside that would make you react that way. And I don't know if it's necessarily what's happening inside. I think it is. I think it has a lot to do with that. We're kind of just jumbling around talking out loud here. Like what's going on inside, but then it's like it if you get deep enough in there, and yeah, you just figure out, I don't know, I think a lot of it's just figuring out how to deal with that external better, but I do think a lot of it could be something, to do with your past or something like that. If something happened to you, and now you get angry every time this happens, well, could it be based on something in the past? Absolutely. So those things need to be explored. So that's definitely a possibility. So explore the inside of you and all that stuff. Explore the insides, but also it's also just figuring out the external too, of better ways to react, knowing that you can't control it, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you might as well not worry about it. I'm just a huge believer in that. But man, just thinking about the pleasure, it's just like, it's just figuring out the soul, man. Just coming from a soul's level, like, yes, I like to say a lot of the times, it's like, I am a human right now. But I really just try to look at it as like, no, I'm not a human. I am a soul experiencing a human life right now. My soul. I know a lot of people have a tough time maybe getting to that level and be like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense, Gary. You're crazy. You're weird. Like, they have trouble getting to that level. But if you really, really think about it, and you really, really believe, the afterlife and more, and something more to all of this, like, I do think that, at least for me, that's a great way to look at it. Like, I'm a soul experiencing a human life. And then a lot of you could be like, well, duh. But then we get caught up still in the human side of things. But it's this keeping that focus on of the soul part. And so if we come at it from our soul standpoint and realizing that, it's like we can still be in this world but not be of this world. And still enjoy things but not be consumed by things, and not just get too crazy about being caught up in things of the flesh. And a lot of things are fun. A lot of them are passions that I have. Obviously, we're here. I'm going to have a great time. I think I'm definitely here for a reason. And, loving, inspiring, and uniting people. So I'm here. I'm doing all that. Absolutely doing all that. And I'm going to, I love sports. So I do sports and things like that. But to me, like, I'm doing those, I get into that flow state, man. And that flow state's like kind of like a state where, there's no thoughts or anything. There's just, you're putting your muscle memory into action. So it's kind of, so you're living in the eternal now. You're not thinking about anything but what you're doing. So it's kind of like time doesn't exist. I've talked about that a lot before too, but man, it's just so true. So just come at it, man. It helped me, maybe to help somebody, just come at it from that standpoint of, I'm not a human. I'm a soul experiencing a human life and then it's done. And then it's done. If you look about things from the grand cosmic scale of things, and I don't get caught up in shit. I'm not doing it. It took me 40 years almost to figure it out, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I have full faith that this is just a blip, and there's so much more to our existence than just this flesh. And I'm not going to live for the flesh. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not worth it. I think I think regardless, we're going to cycle back around, and if there's bad, worst of the worst, like I think it all circles back around, and we're going to get a second chance in that, even if maybe you weren't a believer in God or Jesus or whatever, because I read too many things about the near-death experience, and people say, oh yeah, no, I was an atheist, and then I had that near-death experience and come back or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, no, there is a God, and like we're going to get another chance at it. Maybe not, I don't know, interpreting, the Bible and all this and all that and the different religions and everything. Like I can believe in it, but I have the understanding that I'm not going to put God in a box. I've talked about that a lot. I'm just not going to put God in a box. We just too often feel like we're at the center of this whole thing, man. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about that. I think we're very, very important, but I'm just not so sure that just look how many stars, look how many light years and all that stuff, and how many other possible Earths there are. Like it'd be, I don't know, people that say they don't believe in aliens and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. I respect that. If you don't think there are, like, what, cool. Like, believe what you want. But man, for me, it's just like, wow. How would there not be? How would there not be some other kind of life form out there? It's just like, come on here, man. Come on here. Like, yeah. So, anyways, these are just things I've been pondering. Whenever I take the time to ponder, which, it's a lot less than maybe the last few months or so. I've just been going and doing things and selling books and, have my book launch. I think I talked about that a little bit. And, I've sold out of my first round, so writing update, done enough. Sold out of the first set, so ordered some more books. And it's going well at the local level. I'm really appreciative of all the people around me that have asked, when's the book going to be out? Now that it's out, they're actually, they actually bought it and stuff like that. I don't know. I know that doesn't always happen. People say one thing and then, turn around and I've had that experience happen to me too. And then, and it's like, oh, hey man, you're asking about this? I finally got it. And then it's like, they don't care. Well, thankfully that hasn't happened to me a whole lot. And even if it did, it's just like, whatever. It's all good. And I just feel very, very blessed, and I don't take that for granted. I really don't. I'm just so thankful that people have supported me. But I haven't really even scratched the surface of putting ads out there or going around. Like, you get something in your heart, guys. You can't just do it and then not put the, like once it's done, just think that everybody's going to buy it just because you made it. Like, yeah, they might. If it's really good, they might. People go, look at social media and stuff. People go viral for different reasons. Sometimes it's a crapshoot. So yeah, you might get lucky and somebody might buy let's just stick with books, but it could be anything. They might be a bestseller without having to do anything, but chances are you're going to have to do stuff. You're going to have to do some stuff. Social media, going around, doing whatever to get it out there, to market it. You can't just make it and then not market it and expect it to be big. I'm in that right now where I have it. It's done. I'm doing well locally, but I'm so thankful for all those people, because those reviews that those people put up and reading it, and I'm locked in the marketing side of it right now, but I still try to think about it from a grander thing, from my overall goal, love, inspire, unite, and when I was writing it and how I would hopefully make people feel, and people tell me, they cried and this and that, like it was really good. Like that means the world to me. That means the world to me. And maybe I lose a little bit of sight of that because right now I'm in the middle of trying to market it and get it out there. So I do need to keep that in mind, to be thankful for that, and to realize what the overall goal is in what we're trying to do here is not really about money. Yes, I want to make a lot of money in selling them, but if I'm able to make a lot of money, then I can do ads and things and market it the proper right way to then inspire more people. So even though I'm driven by the marketing and focusing on that right now, it helps. It all goes towards the grander theme of the LIU and what we're trying to do. So yeah, just if you get something, guys, just make sure you market, make sure you put yourself out there. You know, I worked, sold cable boxes, or cable, picked up cable boxes too, did some collections, and I sold it, life insurance. I've done door-to-door sales before, so I'm gonna go. I will go knock on a door. I'm like, hey, you know, you gotta just genuinely be yourself when you're trying to sell something. You can't be too pushy and over the top. You gotta know how to talk to people when you're trying to sell it to them. But I don't ever want to come off as a salesman. I want to come off as a, hey, you know, like, this is a really good book. Here's what it's about. If you want to read it, like, you know, if you're interested in it. And I don't try to push them. Like, people come up, my book's sitting there on the counter. In a few places I'm there, you know, and they're looking at it. Like, I might say something, I might mention it to them, but they're reading it. So, and I have that urge. I want to jump in and be like, yeah, hey, I see you're looking at my book. You know, I want to tell them about it because I want to sell it to them, obviously, so they'll read it. But a lot of times I just sit there and let them read it, and I don't say anything. And then the next thing you know, I swear to you, they're here. If they didn't buy it right then they come back 5-10 minutes later, or the next day, or I see they bought it online. I'm just like, wow, you know. So it's just don't be too pushy, because if you're too pushy, that's not going to work either. That's just not going to work. So you have to genuinely be yourself, and yes, you can't be afraid to talk to people about it, and you need to put yourself out there to say things, but you can't be too over the top about it. It's that fine line. You got to be in between that fine line of being a salesman. You just got to know that you want to sell it to them, but you also know that you just want to genuinely be yourself and genuinely just tell them about it. And if they're interested, and they'll buy it. If they buy it, that's great. And yeah, there are some key words and everything that I'll say to people, you know, if they're interested, oh, this is your book, like, yeah, like, you know, I might say, you know, yeah, it's done really well. I'm getting a lot of good reviews for it. I probably need to think of some better marketing sales tactics to say, to be totally honest with you. There are probably some other things I could probably sell to try to get them, to hook them, to try to get them on the hook more. And maybe I need to do that, but I'm just genuinely being myself, you know. So I'll say to them, if they're interested, I'm like, yeah, like, I'll sign it for you. I'll you know, I'll be happy to sign one for you, and I'll personalize it for you. And then I'll say, if you're interested, and then I'll just leave it at that. You know, and I'll just let my natural, from what I learned from those past jobs and being a salesman, I'll just let that naturally take over, man. But I never was too pushy. And I was just out there to make connections with people. And I knew that if I made genuine connections with people, and I know that to this day, if I just make genuine connections, just be myself, and that the results are going to speak for themselves, you know, then people are going to be interested. And you just let the chips fall where they may, and you just don't worry about it. You just can't worry about it and try to be too pushy. That's the whole key. It's figuring out that in between. Hopefully that made some sense. I'm sure, you know, if I could go over a big list and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and I do that a lot, and this and that, but I don't know, I just like to give you my random thoughts on it. That's what the old winding road is all about, the old stream of consciousness. What else has been going on? What else has been happening lately? Just been doing that, working on some other stuff as well. Probably maybe need to do a better job of not really saying anything about those other things until they're up and going. Well, one of them is up. I do have my shoes. I got merchandise and stuff. I'm working on some shoes. I got a couple shoes that are on my website, GaryMartinMedia.com. And yeah, just going with it, man. Just going with it. I think, you know, 'cause I thought about the name of it and everything. Purchased all the rights to it, stuff like that. So it's just, but then it's like, then I'll start second guessing myself. Like, oh, is this right or is this wrong? I don't know. It's kind of like with my book. And then I feel like when I know that I have the right title, I have the right title. Because for a while there, I was going to call my book COVID Crossings. And I'm just like, it just doesn't feel right, but it's good, but it don't feel right. And then distant times came to me, and I'm like, now that it's out there, I'm like, yeah, that was right, because it felt right. And so just gotta kind of just wait and see. If something doesn't feel quite right, maybe there's something better out there, or you mull something over and over. You can drive yourself crazy and talk yourself out of it, and maybe it is the right thing. So at a certain point, you just got to be like, okay, yep, no, this is it. But you get that gut feeling sometimes. It's just like, man, I don't know. Maybe I know there's something. There's another better name. What is it? And then I'll just go through the day and kind of have it in my mind, but not really be trying to think too hard about it. And maybe something will just come to me. It's like whenever you're trying to remember something, you can't remember it. Then it's like, okay, as soon as you stop thinking about it, then you remember it. It's like, yeah, I have it in my subconscious, back there rattling around, maybe something to come to me. So, anywho, yeah, I think that's about it. It's about all that's been going on. Hope you're well out there, guys. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm just telling you what I do, and it helps me. Like, turn off the TV, turn off the news. Like, it's just, it doesn't serve you. I just don't think it serves you. Like I said, I like to, like, oh, you just live under a rock? Yeah, kind of. I like to poke my head out every now and then. Like, I'm going to be aware of what's going on. I listen to other people talk about it, so I get some awareness and stuff like that. But turn off the news, man. Like, just negative a lot. Just turn it off. We all know these things. We know, a lot of us know these things. Just turn it off. That's my tip. Pro tip of the day. Thanks for joining. I'm me, you're you, but we are each other. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.